The most savage judge moments ever.
I agree with the family. I hope you it as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
What is going on, guys? Shak-Clips here once again, and in this video we're gonna check out some crazy clips of judges actually flipping out on these convicts. They did not hold back with their sentencing and the way they reacted in court, but let's check out this first clip, which I found absolutely hilarious, to be honest. In this first clip we have this guy over here. He ended up actually going to court because he was abusing his kid, and his kid has insane bruises, and it's pretty much obvious that this guy was beating him up. But throughout the entire court case, he was actually pleading innocent the entire time and saying, nah, it wasn't me, it was clearly somebody else. He's like, I never hit my kids at all, never. But when it came down to the sentencing, the first time ever, the judge allows him to pick the sentencing, and this guy never even realized it. It ends up getting so wild. Please check out this clip.
I'm innocent. I didn't do it.
Okay.
I've maintained that the whole time. I feel like there was things that were allowed to be said that should have never been allowed to be said, that didn't have nothing whatsoever to do with the case and what was being said. Just because somebody has domestic abuse issues with their spouse doesn't mean that they would put their hands on their kids, which has also been pretty much proved that I've never touched my kids in any harmful manner whatsoever. I've never harmed my kids. I didn't even hear anything that said that I had done anything to her in front of the kids.
Well, I can make a lot of comments on what you said. I can make a lot of comments on the trial, but I know that was just be arguing with you or talking with you. I'll ask you one simple question. You claim you're innocent, so you tell me what sentence the man or woman that you claim did this should receive.
If you ever find out who did them, they deserve to be under the jail.
Okay, so they ought to get the maximum sentence.
Most definitely.
Okay. On the crime of malice murder, I sentence you to life in confinement without parole. On concealing the death of another, I sentence you to 10 years in confinement, consecutive or after. Count one. Do you understand each of your sentences?
Yes, sir.
I want to advise you that you have 30 days after today to file a notice of appeal.
It'll be filed
On this case. I'm going to instruct Mr. Carter on behalf of you.
In this next one, you can clearly see a spoiled girl getting exactly what she deserved. Basically, she is in this court case. I guess she had to pay some tickets and some fines, and she wasn't paying them, so she actually had to go to court for this in front of the judge. And she was completely like joking around about this. She wasn't taking anything seriously. She was actually laughing publicly. And the judge is like, hey, this is not a joke. I don't know why you're laughing. And when it came down to asking about how much jewelry she has, she started saying, I have a lot of jewelry. It's very expensive. And you can see that she's trying to like flex on the judge and everybody around her, which makes no absolute sense. And it even keeps getting worse throughout the clip, but just please watch and see what the judge's reaction is, because it's just super funny and how she got exactly what she deserved.
So are you working?
Yes,
How much money are you making a week approximately?
approximately about $200 a week.
Okay, and do you own any property of value? A house, a car, a bank account, significant amounts of jewelry?
Yes,
What do you own?
I own a lot of jewelry, all right,
Okay.
as well as
Oh, go
a
ahead.
car.
Well, how much would you say your jewelry is worth? It's not a joke, you know. We are not in a club now.
Okay, but if you know,
Hey, well,
kind
you
of,
see,
you know,
we are
but
not in a club. Be serious about it.
I'm serious about
Oh,
it.
you're
You
being
just
very.
made me
I can
laugh.
see you're serious, all right.
You just made me laugh. I apologize.
It's all right. How much is your jewelry worth?
It's worth a lot of money.
Like what?
Like Rick Ross.
Huh?
It's worth
Ma'am,
money.
have you had any kind of drugs in the last 24 hours?
Actually, no.
Bye bye.
Adios.
Come back, ma'am. Come back. Come back. Give me the paper again. Count one would be 10,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios. Come back again. Come back again. Bring him back again.
What's up?
I believe I heard you saying to.
Yes, I did. I'm not going to do
I believe you. Did you say?
Actually, I
Did you say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you did say that?
I'm not
I find you in direct criminal contempt. 30 days in the county jail.
In this next one, this judge actually flipped out on this man for driving a car for the second time when he was not supposed to. He had a suspended license, and he said, you know, driving until, you fix your suspended license, and I guess he had to wait a period of time until he can drive again. Not only that, he also had drugs on him, so he had to confront the same judge once again, and this judge literally flipped out on him. He's like, how stupid are you? Like, why are you driving again when I told you not to? And he does not hold anything back. Please check this out.
Heated exchange between the judge and one of the defendants. At first, 21-year-old Levon Turrentine stood quietly before State Supreme Court Judge William Bowler, awaiting his fate. He had pleaded guilty to second-degree vehicular manslaughter for his role in a tragic accident in April of last year. Turrentine was released on bail initially, but this morning we learned that he was arrested again recently for possession of and driving the same vehicle with a suspended license. The judge wasn't happy.
I told you you were not supposed to drive. So what it tells me is one bad decision after the another. You didn't learn anything. You violated the law again by driving the same car that you already somebody with. You were not supposed to be behind that wheel.
It's not like I was joyriding or anything, Your Honor. I just went to the Chinese place to get me and my kids something to eat.
Did I release you on bail to say that it was on the condition you don't joyride?
And the courtroom fireworks did not end there. You'll hear more tonight on News 4 at 5.
In this next one, I really couldn't believe what the hell this man was telling the judge. Basically, it's a lawyer, and he gets thrown out of the courtroom because of the way he was talking to the judge. I guess the judge was giving him some kind of an attitude to the lawyer, and he was just not having it. He's like, that's not how you talk to people. He's like, you should give me more respect. And the judge was pretty much flabbergasted by what she was hearing, and she kicked him out instantly without any regret. Please check this out.
For Your Honor, it creates a tone of respect.
Where I'm from, you sort of got to earn that.
Watch yourself, Your Honor.
Get out of my courtroom! Get out!
A pleasure.
Out! Douglas.
If Douglas touches me, you will not be happy, Your Honor.
You know what? If Douglas beats you to a pulp, I'll be delighted. Get out.
And this next one, it is actually very bad. There is this judge who goes completely berserk on this convict, and he did not hold anything back with her sentence. Apparently, she was laughing throughout the entire sentence because she actually killed someone, and she was laughing in front of the person's families, and obviously, I don't think she really regrets it. What actually made the judge go furious, though, is when the lawyer said, listen, I know what has to be done here, but at least cut her some slack. And the girl left off a bit of a smirk, and the judge actually just did not care at that point, and he made sure that this convict was never going to leave jail ever again. Please check this out. It is so wild.
Well, tonight we do want to take you inside the courtroom of a judge erupting from the bench when a woman convicted of boyfriend shows no sign of remorse and mocks distraught family members. She was sentenced to life in prison, but the judge wanted to make sure that's not all she'll be thinking about from behind bars. If a judge could throw the book at a woman, he managed to do so today. Not physically, but certainly by his stinging words. And he had a lot of them for 31-year-old Camilla Gamet, the woman convicted of boyfriend Marcel Hill in March. Gamet claimed it was self-defense and showed no remorse today.
At trial, the way I was portrayed, mostly everything was lies. There was a little bit of truth, but mostly I was convicted off of lies.
Family members who got a chance to address the court today would beg to differ.
I remember the cries of help that he screamed.
Would get life behind bars. Still, while family members spoke, she would only roll her eyes and laugh. But Jackson County Circuit Court Judge John McBain would have none of it.
And you're going to shut your mouth or I'm going to have some duct tape put on it.
No duct tape would be found. A jury convicted Gamet for... Her lawyer argued she unknown attacker in a dark room and started whacking an intruder after she woke up to glass being smashed on her head. The judge wasn't buying that and called it the worst cold he's ever seen. The prosecutor argued Gamet's actions were premeditated and deliberate.
We have no choice but to send her where she will also. I can't believe she stands before you doing this morning.
Gamet had a history of violence against Hill, who told police in March of 2013 she hit him in the head with a hammer. The prosecutor showed a brutal act Judge McBain says she'll pay for with life in prison without parole.
I understand you have to do what you have to do.
I agree with the family. I hope you it as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state,
you'd be getting the chair.
In this next one, it is actually insanely bad. Basically, there is this cop, and I guess he actually committed a bit of crimes during his duty. He actually committed 5 crimes. It doesn't actually explicitly say what he did, but I think he ended up beating his wife, and he started doing things to people he was arresting. And finally, a cop was actually held accountable for what he did, and let's just say his sentence was not small at all. He actually ended up getting life in prison, and you could see his reaction when he starts crying and breaking down. This just goes to show no matter what you are, even if you're a cop, you can still get life in prison. Please check this out.
Years. Count 2. Not guilty of the crime of. Count 3. Burglary in the first degree. Defendant is not guilty of the crime of burglary in the first degree, nor lesser included. Count 4. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring. Punishment is set at 5 years. Count 5. Defendant is guilty of the crime. 31. By instrumentation. Defendant is guilty of the crime of, and punishment is set at 12 years. Count 32. Defendant is guilty. Mr. Holtzclaw, this jury finds you guilty of the various counts. You will be remanded to the custody of the Oklahoma County Sheriff for formal sentencing set January 21st, 2016 at 10 o'clock a.m. All right, you have a seat. The custody of the sheriff. You're excused.
This next one's actually crazy because he's such a young kid. Basically, I think there's like 16-year-old, 17-year-old. He ended up beating his teacher to death because he just hated her. Now he's at this court where he's finally sentenced life in prison from the judge because he actually murdered his teacher. You can see the family members crying. I guess they're pretty much happy that this kid finally got what he deserves. And this judge kept a straight face the entire time throughout his sentencing. Please check this out.
On indictment number 2013-1446001, the jury, having returned a verdict of guilty of murder in the first degree on deliberate premeditation and extreme atrocity and cruelty, you will hearken to the sentence the court has awarded against you. The court, having duly considered your offenses, it is hereby ordered that you be committed to the Department of Youth Services until the age of 21, and furthermore committed to the Massachusetts Correctional Institution at Cedar Junction for the period of not less than 25 years and not more than life, and that you stand committed in excellence.
Well, that does do this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.